Hello, everyone. Yes, hello, everyone. You're welcome to today's live Citizens Check. How are we all doing? Today, I want to be talking about the state of the nation, our country, Nigeria. Over the years, Nigeria has participated in democratic exercise, electioneering. We talk about good governance every day, and yet we don't see any changes from our leaders. There is no gainsaying that Nigeria is a great country, but yet we have bad leaders. We keep making the same mistake. Every day, we keep on making the same mistake. It is important we try to start changing the narrative. It is very important we vote with our conscience during the electioneering period. It is so sad seeing the way Nigeria is today. Very, very sad seeing Nigeria the way it is today. The people are suffering. The masses are crying every day. Families can no longer have 2 square meals again. It is very sad. A great country, yet we can't even sustain our God-given natural resources. It is indeed very, very sad. Very, very sad. As a country, we expect more from our leaders. But what we see recently is just difficult situations. Very difficult situations in the hands of our leaders. It's very sad. It is very sad. We need to change the narrative. We need a new paradigm shift. We need a new paradigm shift. Recently, we have heard about the Dangote and the refinery. In my opinion, I was thinking that if we have this refinery, the cost of petrol will go down and people can start, living their normal lives again. But unfortunately, it's even getting worse. Nigeria is still owing very, very well. I don't think there's any foreign reserve again. The borrowing is just increasing every day. We are still borrowing to pay salaries. Nothing has been said about the power. No light, no job. It is long we even saw vacancy for job in Nigeria. That is how bad the country is today. Very, very bad. May God help our country, sincerely. We are really in a bitter situation. The suffering of Nigerians has increased from arithmetic progression to geometrical progression. It is very, very sad. Very, very sad at the situation of our country. The goods, high cost of goods. You can decide to price something today. You come back tomorrow, the price has increased. Every day, the price has increased. Every day, the price of goods keep increasing. You can't, in fact, those days you can get food stuff worth of 5,000, 10,000. I don't think with 25,000, 30,000 you can get a reasonable amount of foodstuff that can even last you a week as a family. Sincerely, our government needs to do better. They need to do better. They have failed us. They have failed us totally. It's not about writing letter to the presidency or trying to raise appeal. We have done this severally. People have protested, and at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. They still use military, they still use DSS to intimidate citizens who wants to also speak for their rights. These are the same people who in those days accused President Jonathan that Jonathan does not have clue, that he's clueless. Today, the economy is worse than we met it. The exchange rate is just increasing every day. Every day, the exchange rate is still increasing. And yet, people who were trained by their parents in their right conscience, you come on Facebook, you see people speaking for the government. A lot of hallelujah boys. I don't blame them, because maybe most of them don't even have a second address. Their first address is just follow politicians from one place to another. That's the address. No administrative experience. Tomorrow, their godfathers will empower them, and they will also contest elections, and the system keep going on and on. This is what we face in our country. This is what we face in our country all the time. It's very sad. It's really a sad situation. It's really a sad situation. There's a saying that you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. You can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. And we keep repeating the system on and on. Now the last election has gone. We all saw that it was rigged. We know it was rigged. Now we are not even talking about the electoral reforms. At least let the result be announced in the polling unit and be transmitted same. Let it be a law. Let it be binding. And if there is no polling unit that has not transmitted the result, let such be cancelled. We can't keep allowing our courts to be determining how our election went. I will give you an instance in Imo State. The number of voting, INEC, even the Supreme Court gave the governor is higher than what was accredited. This is the kind of country we operate in. It is indeed very sad. This is the kind of country we really operate in. We need to do better. Even our justice system need to do better. They need to do better. Everything is now about politics. The actions our political actors are doing today is going to affect our future generation. Look at the mass exodus of people leaving Nigeria every day, especially those in the healthcare sector, because that is where they can get a better life. You don't blame them. That's where they can get a better life. It is indeed very sad. Very, very sad on the economy of our country. I welcome our viewers. Chidimangela, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, I see you. So what is the state of affairs in your area? And if there's anybody that want to come up, feel free to come up. Chidima, how are you doing? And where are you chatting from? Where are you joining us from? How is the situation of things in your area? So sincerely, we call on our government. We call on our government to do better. The situation is really sad. It is indeed very, 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 very sad. Very sad. Chidima, which state are you chatting from? Which state in Nigeria are you joining us from? I want to use this opportunity to also thank, at least we have good leaders. We have good leaders. After Mr. Peter Obi in the southeast, we are yet to see a very good governor again, apart from Alex Oti, who is doing exceptionally well. Look at how Abia State has developed overnight, despite their low source of income, receiving, one of the lowest revenue in Nigeria. But you can see how he has transformed Aba Umahia into a modern city overnight. Then you ask yourself, what were the governor doing for the past 24 years? You have had 3 governors. They have had the likes of OUK, Senator Jules Okalo, who served 8 years. They have also had the likes of Theodore Oji, who served 8 years. We also have the one of the worst, the governor Ibazu, who served also 8 years. And yet, you can see that in these 24 years, there was no significant change in the life of Abians, not until the likes of Alex Oti. And it's very simple to note that Alex Oti is a banker. Though I'm not saying that bankers, maybe they are the best, though leadership has to do with the individual character. But at least he has an administrative experience. He has a second address. That is what matters. He has a second address. He has been in the banking sector. He understands what investment is. He understands what transformation is. Today, you can compare. Now there is light in Abia, courtesy of, I think, the likes of Professor Barton Naji. And I think the governor also, Alex Oti, was part of that progress. I think during that time, he also, gave that private sector loans, which, they were able to actualize what they did in Abia State today. We thank the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, who is doing exceptionally well. Ndibo are proud of him. Anyway, I can see the recent project he has been doing recently on the bus stops. That is highly recommended. That is an organized system. Because at times you come to ask yourself, all these are our leaders that have been traveling. What did they even learn in the outside community? Did they just come here for picnic and vacation and they don't learn anything? Because they still go back to Nigeria and they still mess up. They don't even do anything. You start wondering, what kind of leaders do we have? Leaders without conscience. They steal from themselves and for their 10th generation. We are not going to live in all these houses. Yes, it's important to enjoy life, but however, the usefulness of being in government is for you to create impact in the life of people. Security, give them social amenities, give them light. Simple. This is not a Herculean task. Sincerely, we really need to look into our electioneering process in Nigeria. We need to put a stop to it. We need to recreate the system. We need to recreate that system. The screening of any aspirant or candidate should be well assessed. Because a lot of people, a lot of leaders have deceived our indigents. When they want to contest for election, they will go and open emergency NGOs, share bag of rice, share everything. And that is the problem. The power should have to go to the hands of the people and not the political elites. That's the problem we're having in this country. The powers are always determined by the political elites. And power must have a base. It is either it is in the hands of the political elites, truly that's what it is now, or in the hands of the people. Our people need to start standing up. We need to be firm in defending our votes, in defending our rights, in defending the electoral process. There are a lot of concerns. There are a lot of concerns. Fake promises by politicians. I will take for example, before the last election, sometime in January, I think so, Governor Hope Uzodinma promised Imo youths 4,000 jobs in Europe. We know that it was not sustainable. A lot of us spoke about it. We said this governor want to deceive our people. And enough in the crowd, you see people hailing the governor. So the people are also part of the problem. They're hailing him for promising them. I don't know if there's anybody the governor has flight from Imo State. The suffering is too much. Of course, he's not always in Owerri. So I've heard a lot of people calling him Abuja governor. That's what you get when you put the wrong people in power. That's what you get. You can't even see any good reform. You can't even see anything that has, had a significant impact. There's no significant impact in their governance for 8 years. It's just bantering of words, countering issues, trying to deny, trying to justify. They will just employ criminal media writers to do their dirty jobs for them. Those guys don't have jobs, so what do? They take the job from the government, and they just, when you come to Facebook, you see the nonsense that they write. Look at the APC Congress that they did for local government chairman the other day. Even some people that did not even contest the election, they almost announced as candidates to represent them in the election. Then what happens to the other people? You see, no internal democracy. People are not even allowed to choose who represents them internally in their own party. And some people will come on Facebook to justify nonsense. On Facebook, you see them, a lot of writers trying to justify. And you know the good thing, tomorrow is going to be their own turn. And they will still talk about injustice. Injustice of something they once promoted before. That is the kind of things you see in Nigeria. Hypocrisy. I don't pity or have sympathy for anybody in APC at this time in Imo State who come, because they know that APC is not even a good party to start with. They know who their governor is. But all of them are going for power. And if they have chosen any of them, it could have been right anyway. It could have been right. But when they are being played, they will cry for injustice. If they choose them, everything becomes correct. When they choose them, everything becomes very, very correct. But when you don't choose them, they will cry for injustice. They will keep crying for injustice. So karma is a bitch. It's going to reach all of them. The rigging in the country is too much. The rigging in the country is too much. In fact, it has been judged as one of the characteristics of electioneering in Nigeria. And you begin to wonder, what kind of society do we want to create? What kind of society do we want to create for our younger generation? Sincerely, it was just pertinent to raise some of these concerns. Our people need to do better. They need to do better. We have two types of poverty. Poverty of the mind and social poverty. The poverty of the mind is the worst form of poverty, when you can't even speak for yourself. When you can't even speak for yourself, it is alarming. You still go to the villages, you still see people going about. They're not even being well sensitized. They're not well sensitized on the candidates they want to choose. Just give them money, they will sing your praises. They will sing your praises. It's so unfortunate we lost the likes of Peter Obi to be our president. And I thank Peter Obi for the good things he's doing in Nigeria so far. Trying to show sympathy to those that need it. He has been available. If you ask me, I think he's even doing his campaign on time. He's doing his job on time. I just pray Labour Party will resolve their internal crisis so that it can pave. We are going to do this again. What we did before, we'll do it again. We'll try. And for those of them, for those of those Nigerians, for the Nigerians that have been trying to divide our country through ethnicity, through religion, I hope they are buying a tuber of yam differently. When you are in a country and you try to segregate one part of the country, that is what you see. The Southeast people are very bold people. They give bold representation, especially in business, in government. Give them a chance, they will transform the country. Tribal bigotry should be excluded from our electioneering process. People should stick to issues. How do they want to address our bad economic situation? What are the prerequisites of handling these issues? They don't know. Some of our leaders don't know. It's just structure, party. And of course, they will share money. And that's it. We need to change our mentality and try to outgrow social poverty of the mind rather, which is what a lot of Nigerians lack. An average Nigerian is deficient of deep thoughts. They lack that reflective mindset. We're not going to give up as long as our country, Nigeria, is involved. We don't have any other country. We don't have any other country, Toronto. We don't have any other country, Toronto. It's only Nigeria. It's only Nigeria. We don't have any other country, Toronto. We don't have any other country, Toronto. We just pray. And it's not even prayer that can even solve the condition of Nigeria today. We have prayed a lot. We have prayed and prayed and prayed. We have a lot of men of God. And I don't want to even try to delve into these issues. I know during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, a lot of men of God we are seen on the streets protesting. That time I think fuel was just increased to, is it 19 naira or 89 naira or 100 and something, I think so. Today fuel, it is 1,000 to 1,300, 1,400 in most part of Nigerians. These men of God are seated comfortably. They don't want to protest. They don't want to protest. They don't want to say anything. Nigeria is too timid for revolution. Very, very timid. Sincerely, now we have they have brought down fuel subsidy. Now the government did not even put anything in place to cushion the effect of this fuel subsidy. There was nothing done in place. Nothing. I think in the interim, if they don't know what to do, they should shut down Nigeria. They should just close the country. Sincerely, we need to start all over again to think if we want this kind of leaders to even continue again. Should we allow these leaders to continue? Should we allow them to continue in this form, in this manner? Now, the civil servants in Nigeria, they have to go to work Monday to Friday with the same salary, with increased fuel that is not commiserable to their salary, with increased price of goods that is not also commiserable to their salary. And that is what you get. That is what we see in the country. Can't they even reduce the number of days these our civil servants at least go to work? They can go to work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. At least they don't get to go to work every day. Implement the 70,000 minimum wage. No, they have not done it. They have not done it. They have not. We don't even have a digital system in our country. By now, the Accountant General of the Federation should have worked out modalities could have been done on the system. But I know they are still doing paperwork because we don't want to learn. This thing can be done in the system. If they have agreed, why not do your calculation in the system? You have your data. And pay these workers. A lot of Nigerians are suffering. Of course, they will not do that. Even Nigeria as a country, we don't even have data to start with. We don't have data as a country. We don't have data. It's only when they want to do a program, they will start looking for data. Every day we fill form in Nigeria. We fill form every day. You start wondering yourself, what our leaders that come abroad, what do they come to do? Don't they consult widely? Don't they consult at least digitally? You can consult, and a lot of things will be done. In this country we are in other countries, in European countries, just your name and date of birth is enough to dictate you to know where you are. It's enough to check your address. The postal services still work here in European countries. In Nigeria, postal services is nothing to write home about. Even we keep changing address day by day. We should do better as a country. We have a lot of reforms to do. We need light in Nigeria. Once there is light, a lot of businesses will be open. The economic realities in Nigeria now is on another level. Fizz the light to encourage local production. Fizz the light. Our leaders need to fizz our light. Local production needs to be encouraged. Free trade zones needs to be encouraged. Yes, I know there is high importation of there is high tax on the importation of goods. But in doing so, what have we done for the local production? We have done nothing. We have not even encouraged them. Those people that will give us more businesses and employ a lot of people. Take China, for example. The government of China only employ, I think, 5% of its citizens. 95% are being employed by private sector. The government alone cannot employ citizens of Nigeria. Don't forget that China is even times 5 higher than us in population. But yet, they are going as world economy, using their population as an advantage in production. Nigeria, we have about 200 to 220 to 260 million Nigerians. Yet, we are not using this workforce for a viable economy. That is the kind of country you get when you have bad leaders. It's so sad. It's so sad that as a nation, we have to keep bearing, we have to keep pretending that all is well. Indeed, all is not well in the country Nigeria. It is very sad. I'm not even calling on our leaders to even do better, because we know that this set of leaders that entered, we are not surprised. We are not expecting anything from them. They should please just resign and leave the office if they are short of ideas. They should resign. They are not doing anything. We can't even pray. In fact, we can't pray for them again. We have prayed enough. Go to Nigeria, you see churches everywhere. Even there are some streets, you will see five churches in a street. We have prayed too much. It is time for action. It's time to talk to ourselves as citizens. It's time to rise up to the occasion. Are we going to keep suffering like this as a nation? What is the hope for our unborn children? We're not even talking about the security architecture of Nigeria that has been badly polarized. Very bad. Kidnap everywhere. They go to school, they kidnap students. On the way, they kidnap people. A government who swore to protect its citizens. Rather, our security agencies, most of the time, they go and pursue the wrong people, even extort citizens. That is the report you get everywhere. They extort citizens. They keep extorting citizens. It is very sad. It is very, very sad. Our security in that country is not assured. A country that does not value human life. Then what else is the role of the government? You don't protect life. You don't protect properties, which is security. You don't give them lights. There is no job. The fuel you produce is even high for citizens to buy. We have a lot of natural resources. Even our agriculture is there. But yet, the government has not even brought out policies to sustain or to amplify these agricultural products so that it can be enough for its citizens. No. They have not done that. And we say we have a government. Is this really a government that we want for our people? Is this a government? I won't want to. As a Catholic, we have prayed for Nigeria in distress all the time, and yet everything is still the same way it is. Nothing. In fact, it keeps going bad. Obasanjo was there. We say he did not do well. Reporting Yaradua. I think 70% of Nigerians can say that Yaradua should be our best president in Nigeria. We can say he did well. For the short time he stayed as a president, he did well. Jonathan entered. They say, rule of Jonathan is not doing well. They changed him. They brought out another one who is worse than Jonathan. That is President Buhari. Buhari has gone, and a lot of people are missing Buhari today. Now we have the worst government in the history of Nigeria. There is no government as worse as this present administration. So are we going forward or are we going backward? Of course, they said your president will not be on social media. He won't be on social media. He prefers to watch cartoons. So even when we try to lay our grievances using the social media, he will not even heed it. He doesn't even know. And I like to tell you that there's every tendency that he has bad advisors in his midst. Those who he has appointed to advise him, and maybe they are not telling him about the economic realities of our country. There's no sympathy from the president. It's possible he's not aware, because during the era of Buhari, once you say something, Buhari will say he's not aware. It was there. Tomorrow they will say monkey swallowed money or snake swallowed money in this country. We have acted movies. We have seen Nollywood in government, and citizens took the news for granted in this same country. That is very sad. We need to do better as a nation. No matter what it is, we need to keep getting involved in our electioneering process to elect good leaders. Some of us, we know that so person is a good leader. Of course, we won't vote them. You will say, this party will win. What kind of mindset is that? Now you vote them in, you still complain again. You still complain again after voting them. It's no job. Can't feed 3 square meal again. So what is the essence of? We should start reflecting. We should start thinking. Not just for us, our children and children. We can't say we are fighting corruption and yet there is still corruption. We can't say we are recovering money and yet the one we recovered, we cannot even use it very well. Maybe we need to form another committee to recover what has been recovered. That is what you see in Nigeria. State of the nation is alarming. It's very, very alarming. I call on verifiable and reasonable NGOs, not NGOs that they created as an emergency or that has political undertone, to please help those around you. It's very important, especially from your immediate family. It's very important. A lot of things in our country is facts. Can you just say that I'm trying to find a system that is good in our country? Can we even talk about our educational sector? For God's sake, it's nothing to write home about. Our educational sector is something else. How do we revive our educational sector? It's not even by building new schools. The one we have, is it not sustainable? Are we maintaining it? We're not maintaining it. You go to science lab, you rarely find scientific equipment. We need to have skill acquisition in our educational system. It needs to be practicable in the European world, or let me use the Western world. The skill, those persons who do skills, they are being paid more than those of them who go to school. Apart from those that are in ICT, come to this part of the world, you see plumbers. Plumbers are the richest. You see welders, you see electricians, you see mechanics. Some of these jobs, we say that they are very, they are small jobs, or that they don't have dignity in Nigeria, These are the main jobs in Europe. They are the main jobs in UK. They are the main jobs in Canada. They are the main jobs in USA. We need to start having skill acquisition, not just education for meal tickets, but at least our education needs to be improved, for God's sake. Every person should go and learn a skill in Nigeria. Have a skill. The education system cannot accommodate all of us that are graduates, cannot employ all of us. Now you can see a lot of people who had skills in Nigeria. You can see what they do. A lot of diversity, a lot of designs. There's competition. Somebody will graduate for 4 years and the next thing, he's doing POS in Nigeria. We should stop this school. If we don't want to go to school, we should just leave this school. If there's no employment for us, they should leave it. Let us go and learn trade. Look at the people on the German market. After serving the Oga for 5 years, if you go to school for 4 years, most of them are richer than you. Most of them are richer than you. You find out that at times, the average Nigerian, let's say the annual salary is about £600 annually. Maybe £600 annually. Average of £600. Same job you do there in Nigeria. 1 year, £600. In some of the European countries, at least the least you can get from 1,500 to £3,000 a month. You can see sort of abuse, send money back home, and you still be alright. You see that our country is really wasting talents. There are a lot we can do for ourselves. There are a lot we can do. I want to urge every Nigerian youth to please learn a skill. It is very, very important. People like us, we are even afraid to invest in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that the economy is even going down day by day. It's going down day by day. Tomorrow you may have issues with government. Government will come and demolish your structure. They may not even give you compensation. So you start wondering, where is your seed capital going to come from? Imagine in the Western community, you hardly hear that they demolish buildings or they demolish houses. It's only in Nigeria. You see, they demolish, it's block pipe. Was there no agency that saw that building erecting before? Of course, the government also approved it. A lot of people have been rendered homeless. A lot of people have been rendered homeless because of demolition of structures. And you want people to still invest in the country? Our government is not responsible yet. Our system needs to change for the better. It needs to change for the better. It needs to change. This is not a system. We need to just press the reset button and do well as a nation. Our nation is bad. I'm not going to pray for our leaders again. No. We have prayed a lot. It's time for citizens to take action. It's time for them to survive on their own. I think the best way to live in Nigeria is to pretend that you don't have a government. Because if you keep hoping on government, they will keep disappointing you year to year. And they have always been disappointing us. Year to year, they keep disappointing. They keep disappointing every day. Every day they are disappointing. It is sad. It is sad. It is sad. Just pretend you don't have a government and fight for yourself. Fight for your family. Be intentional with what you are doing. Be consistent with what you are doing. It is going to pay off one day. Try to learn digital skills. Try to know the power of digital marketing. If you have goods, if you have products you are selling, it's not only for your immediate environment. Explore the social media. Do videos. Be very intentional about marketing your projects. Whether you're an introvert or extrovert, it shouldn't matter at this time. It's about survival. It is about survival. Be consistent. It's anything you are doing, and it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off. Just be consistent. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up. Be consistent in what you are doing. Be very, very consistent, and one day it will pay off. Look at those people who we have said they are billionaires today. Most of them are not professors. Most of them don't have a PhD. Most of them don't even have masters. They just learn the art of trade. And consistency over the years with integrity has kept their business where it is. We need to change our orientation. We need to just go to school. We need to be educated. But please, let us have a backup. The school in Nigeria is no longer sustainable. Again, you go to school, you graduate, you get a job of 120,000 a month. You pay house rent. So if you need to even marry a wife, right? You have to get married. You have to have children, pay their school fees, pay for house rent, right? Probably the family will need a car. How do you do that with such little income? It's no longer sustainable. It's not by federal job. It's not sustainable again. No. It's not working. We should try to learn a trade. Or use our gifts. Some of us can sing, some of us can dance. Some of us are doing well, doing content creating on Facebook, and they are earning money. Most of them did not go to school. Most of them are still students, using the student population, to as their markets, and it's working for them. And it's working for them. It is really working for them. We need to do a whole lot to change our mindsets. We need to have meeting with ourselves. We need to have meeting with ourselves. Have different perspective. Reorient ourselves, our families, and take a decision, a life-changing decision. At times, such decisions are not easy to come by. Yes, it can be marred by a lot of external or internal factors most of the time, but you just have to fight for yourself. You just have to fight for yourself. The country is in a deep shit. We have not gotten to this level before. The way the country is going, we are going to enter austerity measure very, very soon. People will be buying garri in sachets. That is the level we are going to now. Because people can no longer cope. People can no longer cope in Nigeria. How much is the salary? You are being paid 100,000. You need to feed your children. Of course, you need to take your wife out. You need to even send some to your parents. How do you do it with all of this money? It's not gonna work. It's not easy. So we keep living. It's sad that 65% of Nigerians are living from hand to mouth. Hand to mouth. And this hand to mouth, there are different grades. The ones that are employed, right? And the ones that are not employed, maybe they have to depend on agricultural produce before they can feed. Just take example, the Okada drivers. They have to drive Okada for them to feed. If they don't drive for that day, whoa, they can't feed. They cannot. They cannot. Some of them are even on higher purchase. At a different level of our economy, the business sector, I'm not even seeing progress. A lot of us have entered real estate, thank God. That is the new market. Good. Real estate is very good. At least, if a lot of us enter real estate, at least we'll have more developed areas in Nigeria. Yes, that's the truth. That's the market. Thank God a lot of people are understanding the usefulness of social media, using Facebook to publicize their goods, creating contents and making money. Before then, we used to watch our movie actors on the screen of TV. We buy the cassettes, we do this. And now we have content creators making us happy online. 4 minutes, they are done. They earn their money. They are not even richer than there are normal actors that do home videos. Now the home video, those are actors or actresses that are doing home video, they are now queuing up to be content creating because that's the new market. Of course, that is the new market. That's the new market. They're now queuing up. And thank God, a lot of family have been blessed. I heard one government official telling them to come and pay tax. Wow. They're paying tax online. These content creators receive money in dollars. And they don't earn their money from Nigeria. They earn their money online. They subscribe their own data. The same data MTN will tell us is unlimited. It's only in Nigeria that our unlimited data used to finish. We defined something unlimited and yet it will still finish. It happens in Nigeria. How can you say subscribe to unlimited data and yet it will still finish? It will still finish. Unlimited. A lot of things have gone so wrong in our country. A lot of things have gone so wrong in our country. We need to change our politics. We need to change our politics. We need to do a lot to revamp our system. We need to encourage others that are around us also. We need to encourage them. We need to guide our younger ones. Mentorship is declining in Nigeria. Everybody wants to make it fast. We have poor mentorship. Poor mentorship. Even the big men, most of them don't even share update again. We need to fight for ourselves. We need to try even as much as possible to be good citizens. Even when we try to blame the government, we still have a role to play as citizens, especially within our family. Before we blame the government, we have our own role to play. But our leaders have lost direction. The APC government of today is a shame. It's a shame. Reason I want to wonder, do I even want to be in any political party? Because you can even get incompetent people irrespective of any party they are. The best is just for us to just be non-partisan, or even maybe probably have a party, but we need to really screen the candidates or the aspirant who want to, put for an election, to make them candidates. We need to screen them very well. It's not just all about when you bring money or you can buy money, you can buy the form, then they will just give you the ticket. No. Ethics, character screening, we need to know. We need to know. Not when you want to contest the election, people will just go and raise emergency NGOs. They'll start doing charity, spending money at the end of the day just to appeal to the people. Our people keep falling for this scam day in, day out. Nobody cares to ask. Ole Honaro, what does he work? Nobody cares to ask. I've seen some people on Facebook that say they are chartered politicians. That is their job. Politics is now a full-time employment. It's now a meal ticket for them. They don't have second source of income. Politics should be part-time in Nigeria. Our House of Rep, our Senate should be doing part-time work. And once they enter, they will still go for new cars again, killing the economy. These cars are not even the cars in Nigeria. They go and import other cars. They go and import other cars. At least for somebody to contest for House of Rep and even Senate, they have the money to buy a car. But when they enter, they still buy fleece of car. For what? For what? Why are we doing this to our economy? The amount of money the senators used in buying most of these cars is just almost quarter of the budget, and less attention is being paid to education, is being paid to health, is being paid to security. No basic amenities. The next thing you hear, the president has bought a jet. The president does not even care about your suffering. It's not sympathetic to your suffering. This government is a shame. The APC government of today is a total failure. We are not surprised. We knew it would come like this. Especially when we told people that it is only P2B at this moment that can save Nigeria from where it is. It will get to a level in Nigeria that the election period will come and nobody will want to contest again, because Nigeria might be beyond repair. You can't imagine the level of borrowing this present government have borrowed. I don't know who is going to pay for those loans from China. I don't know who is going to pay. Even our generation, I doubt if we can finish that loan. Our foreign reserve, they are still, oh my God, they're still taking money from them to pump, and yet nothing. Corrupt system, no checks, no balances, high inflation of contractors. They will just award projects and take money. The roads are not still good. If you don't have a good SUV in Nigeria, you can't even, you must still be visiting your mechanics. So at least you're going there monthly for leg checkup. It's either the thyroid, it's either the camber, or just something will just spoil. In the same road they have commissioned. Some people even take the money, eat the money, subcontract it out, and yet nothing will be, nobody will be brought to book. That's the country we're operating. We need an energetic president, a president who is aware of the sufferings of Nigeria, a president who is on social media, not the one that will watch cartoon. That's the president we need. We need a young, vibrant president, not the ones that say that they have experience, the ones with verifiable source of income, the ones that their certificates is verified, not the ones that have questionable character. We have suffered in our country. It is time to be more sensitive, to talk to ourselves, tell ourselves, is this what we really want for our children? Somebody will graduate. I've seen somebody, a professor, have 5 children. 5 of them are unemployed. That is the level we are in Nigeria. Unemployment everywhere. Unemployment everywhere. It is sad. It is sad. I am proposing that our government should allow the civil servants to work 3 days. If they cannot bring the price of fuel down, they should work only 3 days. Suffering is too much. The minimum wage should be increased immediately. I'm also hearing that they are forming another committee. Oh my God. They are trying to even bully the NLC. The other day he was invited by the DSS. Is that the problem of the country? Meanwhile, we have kidnappers out there. We have kidnappers out there. We have kidnappers that are yet to identify. Every day, citizens are being kidnapped. Citizens are being killed. No remorse. We need to have a sympathetic president. A leader who knows the suffering of the people. Who care about the people. Who understand the welfare of the people. What we are seeing today in Nigeria is not a reflection of leadership. There is no leadership in Nigeria as far as I'm concerned. This is not the tenets of leadership. We all know this. And some of us, we are even afraid to speak. We're afraid to speak. Because maybe tomorrow the DSS can come and intimidate us. That's the level we are. Talk against the government, they come and use DSS, or they use their talk against you. That is what our country has turned into. It's very sad. I will end here for today. We'll continue some other time. May God bless our country, Nigeria. Thank you.